Bringing out the energy. Can you guys yell out "good," please? Oh, fuck. I'm not even that drunk. That was just an accident. Alright. Can you guys yell out "good," please?
Good, please.
That is so much... No, not "good," please. That is so much easier, though, than asking you how you're doing, because you Minnesotans will not yell. You're always like, well, I don't want to say "good" before the person next to me. That might be considered a little too forward. So, I don't know if you guys have heard, but recently archaeologists discovered a new Mayan calendar that goes well beyond 2012, which was a day of celebration for myself because my first thought when I heard of a calendar that could predict the future was, yeah, Santa's probably real too. Because, you know, the only source that anybody could ever give for the Mayan calendar when they talk about it was the History Channel as their source of information, which is, the History Channel is not a bastion of reliable, informative television entertainment. History Channel used to be patriotic porn for the baby boom generation to watch World War II reruns and go, look what America did for the rest of the world, America #1, fuck the Russians, whatever. And now it's pretty much just become white trash reality TV. Every other show is somebody either trying to pawn probably fake Civil War memorabilia or shoot an alligator in the mouth. In fact, the other day I turned the television on the History Channel and they combined both into one show. He's like, "Ah, Jeter, did you see the way he stuck that authentic Civil War rifle right in that alligator's mouth and blew its fucking brains out? Ah!" But you know, the other thing that bothers me about the Mayan calendar is that just when I heard about it, I'm like, really, a calendar that can predict the future? Yeah, why don't you call me when they discovered that they made an iPhone that can predict the future? Then maybe I'll be impressed. Maybe I'll buy their calendar app. I mean, this calendar is coming from the same guys who couldn't predict the Spanish were coming. How good can it really be? But, you know, the other thing that bothers me about it is, like, maybe the Mayans were really intelligent people and they just realized, odds are good, somebody's going to rape and pillage my town before my kids have a chance to reproduce. What do I need a calendar that goes that far into the future anyway? There were probably a couple guys making it, and finally one of them just went, alright guys, we've made 2012 of these things this year. Let's take a fucking break. But the same thing that bothers me with the Mayan calendars, what bothers me with all those kind of spooky future predicting methods, like another guy they talk about on the History Channel is Nostradamus, and his predictions are always so vague and spooky, but they don't really tell you anything. It's always like, a golden eagle will rise above the forest, and then its iron turtles will cross into foreign lands. I think it's some asshole with ancient alien hairdo being like, well, you see, the golden eagle is like the standard the Nazis carried around, and iron turtle, like a tank kind of looks like an iron turtle. Nostradamus had never seen a tank, so he's just trying to describe it in a way with his own language from the time. Duh! To which my response is, so you're telling me he has like a high-definition view of Hitler's rise to power, taking over Europe, all that jazz, but never overhears any vocab? Are all predictions of the future just like silent films? There's just stride piano in the background. It's like... Sweet. So, what I always try to picture when somebody tells me that they discovered something that can predict the future, I always try to think of like what it would be like if I actually applied that method to something in my life that actually cost me money. And so I picture like, if I went to like, if I had this determine my car insurance rate, you know, like I walk in there and they're like, thank you for choosing Progressive, Mr. Wood. Very glad to be providing you with your car insurance needs. I'm going to need some basic information from you to determine your policy rate. Can I first get your astrological symbol, please? Aquarius. Good, loving people are usually not aggressive drivers. All right, good. Next, I am going to need to just consult and see if we can see if there were any omens seen today. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Wood. A black crow flew above the building this afternoon. That is going to raise your rate significantly. But don't worry, I'm sure your birthmark will balance it out. Now, can you please just turn around and show me that birthmark on your butt cheek you were telling me about? Alright, a triangle, good, good. See, you already balanced things out. Wouldn't that be great? You're pulling your pants down right in the place, like... Alright, now one more thing. I'm just going to need to consult the Mayan calendar here. Which apparently hasn't gone digital yet. It's still paper. I am sorry, Mr. Wood. Terrible news. Turns out the world is going to end in 5 months. That's going to raise your rate significantly. Because, as you can imagine, your typical end-of-the-world scenario, like your zombie apocalypse or zombocalypse, there's going to be car accidents all over the place. It's just a mess. So that's going to raise your rate significantly. Like, I don't understand why people shut their minds off just because it doesn't cost them money. As soon as that method, as soon as the Mayan calendar costs you money, you'd be like, dude, this sounds like bullshit, I'm out of here. So, on to different material. I dated this girl for a while, and and I think that's it. Like, that's my accomplishment for the night. So I was dating this girl for a while, and we got to a point in our relationship where we started to get comfortable sharing some of the sexual things that we were into, that we weren't comfortable sharing earlier on. And she told me that she was into role play, which is cool, if that's your thing. No judgment here. However, I had never had role play sex. Didn't take acting class in high school. So this is completely uncharted water for me. And the first time we had role play sex, she didn't give me any warning in advance. Script would have been nice. Just right in the middle of sex, she's like, "Oh, teacher, I'm so sorry for being late to class." At which point, I feel like I'm on whose line is it anyway? And I don't have that Wayne Brady charm, you know? That Wayne Brady dick, probably. And so, the only thing I have to go off of, again, not being a role play fella, is what school was actually like. So I'm like, "Well, babe, you've been tardy to 4 classes now. And every 2 tardies takes 2% off your final grade, so highest grade you can get in this class is a 69%. Guess you're gonna need to do a makeup paper. I'll be grading off your curves this semester." At which point she's looking at me like, "Wow, that is all the least sexiest stuff you could have possibly said. We're done." I just sulked to the bathroom and finished myself off in the shower. Thank you, good night.